My name is Yanfei, top legal expert in Liyue, and for the avoidance of doubt, no one else comes close. From commercial litigation, to civil mediation, to criminal lawsuits, I'm fully versed in every area of the law, and I guarantee you a swift and satisfactory conclusion to your case. My contact details? Where should I write this down? Paper will just get lost, and it'll only rub off if I write it on the back of your hand, so... Aha! I know. I'll just write it here on the close of this... whatever this thing is that follows you around. I'll remind you again. The law can be both a help and a hindrance. Sometimes the law is compatible with human nature, but sometimes the two conflict. Balancing the two is a discipline in its own right. The case before us is a strange and unprecedented one indeed. Rain! Oh, Lord of Geo, please do us a favor and clear this up at your earliest convenience. I submit that we cannot afford for the codices to get damp. What kind of injurious weather is this? It's cold. Achoo! This weather's got me in the mood for reciting some laws. Let's see. Commercial Law of Liyue, Chapter 27, Section 6, Article 3 stipulates that... Wait, what was it? Oh my goodness, I've completely forgotten. What is wrong with me today? I have to head out this morning to meet a client about a creditor dispute, but I also have to follow up on a consultation from last week by noon. All right, time to get to work. I'm a little sleepy. I know, a vigorous debate should wake me up, and I've got just the topic. The Northland Bank's presence in Liyue does more harm than good for our economy. So, are you for or against? The night market? I was planning on organizing some files this evening, but if you're going, I can join you. Oh, I should mention, lots of vendors go for the hard sell in the evenings because they want to be able to start with fresh produce the next day, but also don't want to lose profit on what they have left today. So, leave the negotiating to me, and if you have any leftovers, those can be my fee. Need a cure for insomnia? Let me read you the history of the development of Liyue's legal system. None of my friends have ever lasted longer than 20 minutes. Oh, you want something more fast-acting? Then I'll recite from the legal codices. Let me know in the morning which section I got to before you fell asleep. Okay, here I go. You think I come across as quite imposing when I'm reading through case files? Huh. Well, that's only when I'm in work mode. It's like I have an invisible switch. Flick it one way and I'm in normal mode. Flick it the other way and I switch to work mode. Surely you must have a switch like that too. Civil cases are the ones I dread the most. Divorces, custody disputes. It's a thankless task trying to unpack these kinds of cases with logic and reason. You have to be kind, courteous, and patient with your clients, even though half the time they are completely incapable of participating in a constructive discussion. I know I advertise myself as being fully versed in every area of the law, but honestly, if it were up to me, I'd rather everyone could just get along so we wouldn't have so many of these cases. You want legal advice from me? Sure. For legal opinions, I charge a flat rate of 6,000 mora. For advisory services, my hourly rate is 180,000 mora. And for commercial law, I charge 710,000 mora per case. Final quote and commission rate depending on the details of your case. Not a bad deal, right? If you're concerned about what kind of complicated issues you might get tied up in during your travels, your best bet is to bring someone with you who knows and understands the law. Someone like me, for example, whose expertise goes beyond just the law of Liyue. Well, actually, having said that, Fontaine's law is notoriously complicated. Though, with my level of intelligence, getting acquainted with it should be no problem. Anyway, my point is, you can always rely on me. Visions appear in response to strong desire. So as someone with ideals, it's only natural that I should have received one. Because above all, I wish for all people to live honest lives and abide by the law. But some people will always insist on playing by their own rules and causing havoc for everyone else. Those people can expect to be prosecuted so hard they won't know what hit them. This steelyard balance was a gift from my father. It weighs objects to determine their value. I usually use mora for the weight, but it can only give the original price. For example, 1,000 years ago, Liyue was covered in glazed lilies, and they weren't worth anything in monetary terms. Then, when they suddenly declined a number, the price shot up in response, but the value shown by the steelyard wasn't updated. It still shows them as their original value. In other words, dirt cheap. So, most of the time, this isn't a very useful tool for work purposes. Huh? You want to try weighing something? How about we could weigh your little friend here? Will that do? I have a self-defense method that I call Wrath of the Flame, based on a punishment called the Wrath of the Rock, which is detailed in the ancient work, The Comprehensive Compendium of Liyue Law. The Lord of Geo is the god of contracts, and contracts, too, can be seen as a way of restraining people. Ergo, Liyue Harbor has been the city of contracts since time immemorial. The Historia Naturalis Liyue has an entry about a waterborne plant called the horsetail. It claims that the horsetail is a medicinal herb that stands alone on the banks of Dihua Marsh. Its color is that of the clouds at sunset. Apparently, if you grind it into a powder and mix it into your ink, it makes your writing water-resistant. But it's a shame. I've been to Dihua Marsh at least 100 times, and each time I end up with baskets and baskets of the common purple variety, but not a single one of the kind that the book describes. I heard that little herb gatherer has written out a whole set of behavioral rules for herself. She may be small, but boy, has she got her head screwed on. She's definitely destined for greatness. The young of today shall outperform us tomorrow, as they say. I must admit, she has my respect. Ganyu is kind and thoughtful. It's just a shame she's so busy all the time. Most of the time, she's buried in an endless pile of paperwork, the only exception being her nap at noon. Don't get me wrong, I have to put in some hours at work too, but I'm happy with the job I've chosen, and it's certainly a lot less taxing than hers. The Feiyun Commerce Guild is one of my oldest clients. Their approach to business is meticulous and thorough, and every business meeting I've had with them has always been attended by the head of the house himself. Last time, though, I happened to meet their youngest, Xingqiu. To my complete surprise, the lad had no trouble whatsoever keeping up with my train of thought. He was very eloquent, too, and had excellent manners. Definitely not a simpleton. I always hear people saying that the director of the Wangsheng funeral parlor has an unorthodox approach to business. They think she's gone a little non-compos mentis after being in the funeral business so long. What are these people talking about? The Wangsheng funeral parlor provides a legitimate and necessary service, which is the cornerstone of any successful enterprise. Work is just work. There are no good and bad jobs or lucky and unlucky jobs, just jobs that need doing. If I had one gripe, it would be that the director rarely comes to me for legal advice. Mr. Zhang Li has so much in-depth knowledge on so many topics, he's like a walking library, you know what I mean? He's a total savant, though he never flaunts it. I could tell just by looking at him. People like him rarely shy away from taking on complex problems alone, so in my estimation, he's certainly not a potential client. And yet, somehow, I can't help but think I know him from somewhere. It's hard to describe the feeling. I asked my father about it, and he just said something to the effect of he didn't know either, though he seemed a little evasive. It was so strange. Anyway, makes me wonder if my father is hiding something from me. All right then. If he won't tell me what's going on, I'll just have to find out for myself. You must have heard of the Tianquan Ningguang. She's the highest authority where the law is concerned, and often makes amendments to the legal codices. Every round of additions, retractions, and revisions generates mountains of material. Why, the latest edition of the legal codices contained 3 new laws, 121 revised legal annotations, and an array of new legal precedents. Archons know how long it's going to take me to commit them to memory. Still, she's a businesswoman at heart. I'm not about to let her beat me when it comes to the law. Once I finish memorizing these, I need to step up my productivity. The Yuheng doesn't deal with matters of the law, and thank goodness. Knowing Kuching's attitude toward work and ruthless efficiency, I'd end up losing a lot of work. Although, no, surely it wouldn't come to that. She's a stickler for doing things the right way. No doubt she'd offend people. But if she had someone like me as her legal assistant, no way. Why should an eminent legal expert such as myself be relegated to the role of assistant? If she needs legal counsel, she can come and find me. Eula saved me once, and we've kept up correspondence ever since. She's very familiar with the Knights of Favonius' legislation, but has never been one to be bound by convention. She uses cunning logic to deal with problems flexibly. Perhaps the reason we get along so easily is that I'm a similar type myself. Still, I'll never acquire that carefree spirit of hers. We are in very different professions, after all. Yelan is an employee of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. She once helped me crack a tough accounting fraud case. I treated her to dinner afterward. The only thing is, I feel like she's able to read my mind at any given moment when talking to her. Yes, in the future, I need to make absolutely sure I don't get on the wrong side of her. Shinobu? I remember her. She's the Inazuman girl that came to Liyue as an exchange student to specialize in law. When she was doing her coursework, she used to meet with me to discuss some cases, and after we were done, she'd always bow and thank me, which would always make me a little embarrassed. I always felt like she was going to make an excellent lawyer in the future. Thinking about it, Inazuma went into lockdown right around the time she would have graduated. I wonder how she's been doing since she went back. A client? Very pleased to meet you. Here's my card. I'm afraid I can't leave my desk today. If it's a dispute we're dealing with, then please bring the relevant parties here to see me. Let me just give you a breakdown of my fees. One moment. Huh? You came just to chat? No fee necessary then. So just to clarify, you came to chat as friends with a legal expert that you've never met before. Care to explain? These antlers? Oh, well, my father is an Adeptus, so I have Adeptus blood myself. Still, I was born during peacetime here in Liyue. I never signed a contract with Rex Lapis. Naturally, I don't have to concern myself with Adeptal affairs. I'm free to focus on the life I want to live. Works for me. Contracts of that magnitude, lifelong commitments? I've only ever signed one with my father. It's about living happily, I suppose. That's the kind of person he is. I'm proud of him for that. If he'd wanted me to sign a different contract, say, one about working myself into the ground, or stepping on others to achieve success, I would have ran away by now. Sometimes the commercial disputes I handle don't end very pleasantly. The other party might win compensation way in excess of the damages, or pay damages far exceeding the costs. Such is the price of violating a contract. Some people say I'm pretty terrifying. Others try to avoid me altogether. But I don't need to explain myself to anyone. Since the very beginning, the welfare of Liyue has been my primary concern. Think about it. The origin of disputes can be traced back to the violation of contracts. People are a lot less likely to violate contracts when they see the fallout. Making sure that people realize the importance of contracts is a crucial part of my work. Most of the time, I feel that I have a happy and laid-back existence. I have a successful career, clothes on my back, and the freedom to go wherever I please. I've also got quite a way with words. Nobody can beat me in a debate, and yet there is no law or standard that can define a happy life. For me, interesting people and engaging affairs, knowing where to go and which path to choose, these are all enough to bring me happiness. And on that note, you too are a source of happiness for me. In any case, whatever the life you live, the most important thing is to respect and understand the law. After all, as soon as you stray from the law, the world begins to fall to ruin. My hobbies are reading and appraisal. Reading begets knowledge, appraisal improves judgment. As such, I read everything and appraise anything. If you don't believe me, bring something over sometime. If there's a market for it, my estimate won't be far off. Take this stone, for example. Must be, 600 mora. My friends from the communications office often get me to go fishing with them. They say it's to exchange angling tips, but deep down, everyone's keen to show off. I've gotten the better of everyone 100 different ways, but they continue to scrutinize my business. After so much success, it's gotten a little embarrassing. So every time, I end up taking advantage of my ingenious acting skills to make myself seem humble, you know? What's with the face? Are you doubting me? Oh, on that note, let me recommend my one true love. Tofu. Tofu all the way. Light in flavor, tender in texture, not to mention smooth and nourishing. It goes well with all manner of soups and dishes, and more importantly, It's available throughout the seasons. Beauty over complexity. Tofu dishes are my kind of flavor. I don't like cold dishes. Maybe it's because I rarely eat them. When I would get home late, my father used to keep a lantern lit for me. He'd hear me coming and ask me if I was hungry. In his words, the best dishes are served hot. Tastes pretty great. Seems like you did your homework when it comes to the unwritten law of tofu. There's a saying in Liyue, food is life. I gotta admit, the supporting evidence is pretty compelling. Ugh. I got it. I'll put it back on the fire for a bit. That'll do the trick. Happy birthday! Here, this is for you. I've collated legislation from all the nations. You're planning to go traveling, right? It will serve you well to familiarize yourself with the laws of the different lands. Don't study too hard, mind you, or else I won't be of any use to you. Do not seek to emulate the past, for there is no law that can suffice for all time. This is a lesson I must always bear in mind. Only by adhering to the law can the people solve life's myriad of problems. Studying the law allows one to have grounded conversations, whilst learning martial arts allows one to prevail against groundless violence. Hey, wait a minute. Does this count as martial arts? Well, I guess I've mastered both the pen and the sword. I've been lucky to have you with me through to the end of my training. Compensation? A 24-hour specialist personal advisor? Sounds good, but no haggling. Boom boom! Incinerate! Motion to compel! Time for your arraignment! Wrath of the flame! Inadmissible evidence! Ooh, we can definitely write this off as incidental gains. Remarkable condition. Huh. Let's appraise the value on this. Objection! Keep within the law. But my defense was watertight. Hey, leave it to me. The verdict is emergency measures. It's a hung jury. The law has loopholes. I object. Next time, be sure to make a proper appointment. I charge a higher rate to meet outside the office. Ready for trial.
Hello, I'm Yao Yao, a lowly disciple of the Adeptus Streetwear Rambler. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you encounter any difficulties outdoors, then let me help you. Oh, by the way, I brought some fried radish balls with me. Help yourself. Don't eat too many, though. Too much oily stuff is hard work for your body. If you're still hungry, I also brought a freshly washed radish and some vinegar, so I could make you a shredded radish salad if you want. Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Come on, let's get a move on. Ooh, what's happening over there? Can we take a sneaky peek? Huh? Can we? Why do so many people make such a big deal out of seeking the Adepti? There's Adepti everywhere, isn't there? Hey, can you hear the frogs croaking? Silly frogs. They're singing along to the sound of the rain. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. I'll cover your ears for you, and if you're scared, you can hold my hand. It's snowing! Yay! First things first, you have to wrap up warm. Put your big fluffy coat on. And your woolly hat and scarf. Yep. Don't forget your gloves. Good. All right, let's go build a snowman. The weather's so nice. Let's go have a walk around the harbor. Ooh, it's getting windy. Be careful not to get blown away. Time to get up. Your breakfast is ready, so you'd better hurry. You still wanna snooze a while? Well, okay, but 5 minutes and that's all, okay? 5 minutes and I'll be back to wake you up again. I knew I should have sent you to bed earlier. Now, don't forget, you don't want to nap right away after a big lunch, but you also mustn't go racing off on an adventure. You gotta wait for your food to go down, or you'll get a tummy ache. Huh? You're going out again tonight? What time do you plan on getting back? Well, it's dark out, so be really careful. time for your bedtime story. Now, where did we get to last? Time. Yes. Ever since ancient times, the mighty and illuminated Adepti have protected Liyue against evil. Among them, You know the docks in Liyue Harbor? There's always loads of people talking, shouting, laughing. It's great. Totally different from back home. It's so quiet there. You can hear the leaves falling on the grass. That's why I go to the docks whenever I'm free. You know, to see the new ships, new sights, and new toys. They say, give them clothes to wear and they shall show you decency. Fill their stomachs with grains, and they shall fill their minds with righteousness. And that's why you have to eat a decent meal and dress right for the weather when you're out in the wild. Huh? Is that not what that saying means? Oh, okay. So what does it mean? It's not that I'm lazy. It's just the spear's too long for me. And it's so heavy that training with it is really hard work. Luckily, Master doesn't push me too hard. Have you been eating 3 meals a day? Also, do you have enough warm clothing? This cold spell's only going to get colder, you know. And anyway, are you sure it's not dangerous adventuring all the time? Any new injuries I should know about? Ugh, you know what? Forget that. Just bring me along from now on. I can't have peace of mind knowing that you're out there braving the elements all day long. My master's a mighty and illuminated adeptus. She once told me that getting a vision is a sign that the gods are pleased with you, but I don't think I've done anything special. I really wish I could talk to that god and see what she thinks about it. Osile? Oh, you mean that jumbo-sized octopus from the Sea of Clouds? Not because I want to eat it or anything, but if you guys wanted to, you should definitely cook it through on the grill first. Oh, wait. I mean, you don't have to grill it, but I just think it would taste better that way. I love finches. Whenever I go to play with Chi-Chi, I look out for them on my way there. And when I find them, I say hi. Yep. Good morning. That's exactly what it means. Well done. Xiangling hasn't been, looking for strange ingredients lately, has she? She gave me a real fright last time. She said she was about to try some raw octopus from the Sea of Clouds. One of these days she'll give herself an upset stomach. Then what's she gonna do? 'Cause she definitely doesn't like taking Dr. Baiju's medicine. Anyway, I got Master to try and talk some sense into her, too. Who knows what dangerous thing she'll be trying to eat next. Chi-Chi is my best friend. She forgets who I am sometimes, but I know she doesn't mean it. I just have to remind her to check her notebook, and she remembers me right away. I once asked Dr. Baiju in private if there's any way to cure her, and, but it doesn't matter. I'll probably have to keep reminding her who I am for my whole life, but that's okay. Dr. Baiju's prescriptions are pretty effective. They're bitter, that's for sure, but they always say that about medicine. The bitter, the better. So, I get it. Huh? Too bitter for you? Don't worry, I've got some candied dates here. One of these after you finish your medicine will take the taste away. Ganyu always has a lot of work to do. I heard that one time she was so tired she accidentally fell asleep on the grass. I do worry about her, you know. Maybe we could go do a surprise inspection. You know, check in and make sure she's taking care of herself. Wait a minute. I'll go get some of her favorite plants for her to eat. Kaching's a very thoughtful person, and she always does a good job of everything. She also makes sure to pay Master a visit at every festival. She's what you call a bastion of piety. Oh, wait, maybe it's a paragon of propriety? Well, anyway, I think I can learn a lot from her. Now, Yunjin's really good at spear dancing, and her Liyue opera performances are very popular. Master even takes me to go see them sometimes. You won't find an empty seat when she's on stage. But, does anyone understand what she's singing about? Beto's ship is amazing! If I hadn't promised Ganyu that I wouldn't go on board anymore, I know exactly where I'd set up my own little bed. Shenhu's been away from the human world for years and years, so it's no wonder that she's still adjusting to life in Liyue Harbor. I'd love to help Ganyu take care of her, but how do I ask her in a way that won't make her feel uncomfortable? Yanfei takes that huge legal codex everywhere, even when she comes to pay Master a visit on her days off. She's incredible. I don't know how she carries that heavy thing around all the time, and I can't imagine how much hard work it must be to read it. You want to know where I'm from? Well, my parents are hermits who live up in the mountains. I guess you could say that I'm from Qingse village. My family makes a living by growing precious medicinal herbs. My parents often get so busy that they forget about the housework, and sometimes they even forget to eat. Isn't that awful? Good thing they've got me to look after them. I grew up in the mountains, so the flowers, trees, plants, and animals are all my friends. Oh, would you like to chat with the finches? I can take you to them, and I can also help translate for you. Come on, it'll be fun. But first, let's get some grains as a gift for them. There are adepti everywhere in Liyue. I've met loads of them. Auntie Cloud Retainer, Uncle Mountain Shaper, but Auntie Cloud Retainer's my favorite. She's given me all kinds of adepti gadgets and taught me all about how to use them. I've learned so much from her. After I met Master, she said that the path of my fate had intersected with the Adepti Way and took me on as her disciple. To be honest with you, I didn't even understand what she meant by that. But it's been so much fun getting to hang out with everybody, listening to Master tell stories, and sneakily slacking off with Xiangling. And we also get to help the people of Liyue Harbor out a lot. I really love it. It is said that joy hides just beyond the horizon, and bliss is as fleeting as the setting sun. So, whenever I notice anything fun going on, I always gotta go check it out. And you never know, maybe I'll find something I can help with. Spear training is really kind of boring. Maybe I'll go play with Uruguay for a little bit, then come back and do some more training after I've had a break. Qingse stir-fry, come and get it, boiled fish. Lots of Liyue dishes are not only delicious, they also turn mealtimes into a big event. Oh, you like them too? That's great. You'll have to come over for dinner sometime. I'll cook for you. Don't worry, I've helped Xiangling in the kitchen before, so it's safe to say that I come from good stock where food is concerned. One time, Shenhe ate too many Genshin in one go and she was sick for days. And that's why I've got to take care of myself and not eat raw Genshin. How did I know about that? Auntie Cloud Retainer told me. This is amazing! It tastes just like Xiangling's cooking. It's like they say, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Wait, no, 2 peas in a pod. You two are like 2 peas in a pod. I'm always mincing up my words when I get too excited. So tasty. Next time you cook, let me come too. I can help. Do you always eat this kind of stuff? Maybe you should let me cook for you instead. If you're not eating well and you're still going out adventuring every day, one of these days you're going to wear yourself out. This is the day of your birth, and as is tradition, this calls for a bowl of longevity noodles. I got Xiangling to teach me how to make it, and I managed to put all the noodles in the water without breaking a single one. I also put a big plump egg in there. Come on, let's go. You've got to eat it before it goes cold. Wishing you a happy, healthy birthday and a long and prosperous life. Huh? Did my spear just get lighter? It'd be great if it could get a little shorter, too. Wow! I might even be able to lift Xiangling's spear now. Yay! Oh, I really want to tell Master the good news. People always say perseverance is a virtue, and I guess I know what they mean now. Patience is a virtue? But isn't patience the enemy of progress? Huh. So that's what it feels like to be fussed over. Well, any growing or changing I've done is all thanks to you. And you know what they say. Treat other people the way you want them to treat you. So it's my turn to keep you safe and sound now. Yugui, you're up. Stay put. Don't be scared. Ready, go! Pain, go away. Go get him, Yugui. Pack everything up nice and carefully. Don't drop anything. Here you go. I've packed it all into a bag for you. Wow, these'll last us for days. Uh-oh, gotta keep going. It's okay, I'm fine. Come to Yao Yao. Life is a gift, don't throw it away. I can't look after you anymore. Sorry, Master. Spear getting heavy. Ouch, that hurt real bad. I'll take good care of everyone. I'll lead the way. Follow me. Don't fear. Yao Yao's here.
Hello, traveler. Call me Yelan. I think you may need my help, and I just so happen to be interested in some information you have. In other words, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I got a new letter from an informant. Looks like the situation has changed again. Good roll. All right, maybe I'll take one more day off and knock out the rest of the work once I'm feeling up to it. Navigating the world is a whole lot easier with a few different identities to choose from. Need me to come up with some for you? It's raining again? Oh, this isn't good. If the rain washes away the traces, it's gonna set us back a long way. Only innocent children and timid adults are scared of thunder. But you're not either of those, are you? It's getting a little cold. Time to bundle up. This blinding sunlight is such a pain. No way I can get a nap in this weather. There's a restlessness in the wind. So early. I usually get up at noon if I don't have any urgent work. I'm getting sleepy. Think I'll take a nap. Don't wake me. I'll wake up naturally when it's time to work. Good evening. Have you had dinner? What did you have? How was it? Oh, just making conversation. Don't think anything of it. Come on now, drink your milk and go to sleep. What? You're not a kid? All right, well, I'll just leave it right here. It's yours if you want it. I usually fall asleep well after midnight. Full disclosure, if you're a sleep talker, I can't promise I won't take notes, okay? The Qixing know Liyue like the back of their hands, but there's certain information out there that can only be obtained using more specialized methods. That's my area of expertise, so I generally take care of all those assignments myself. Some say the boss of Genshin Tea House is a young entrepreneur who got rich overnight. Some say there's a sickly and frail senior employee of the Ministry of Civil Affairs living as a hermit outside the city. Others say you should stay away from restricted areas, or you'll get haunted by a blue ghost. Obviously, most civilians have never heard the name Yelan before, so you can safely laugh off all these rumors. Huh? What's that look on your face for? You don't have to be on guard around me. I never scheme against people who have my stamp of approval. Don't be too ready to believe people when they cross their heart and hope to die. Sweet talkers only say what you want to hear. And think twice before meeting someone else's gaze. Your eyes speak volumes about what you're thinking. When it comes down to it, we're friends, and if somebody ever conned you, I'd feel like I'd been cheated too. Wherever there's important information to be found, the stakes involved in extracting it are often fatal. It doesn't matter how big or reliable the team under you may be, you can never completely rule out the risk. The bottom line is, have enough force at your fingertips to control the situation. I got lucky. I got my vision just a few days after realizing that. Otherwise, you'd probably be talking to a very disheveled-looking ghost right now. If you grind loach pearls down to size, they make excellent earplugs. They're very soundproof. You can sleep away blissfully even when there's someone screaming right in your ear. Of course, I hope for your sake that you don't ever need them for that kind of reason. The bracelet on my right hand? I suppose there's no harm in telling you. It contains a kind of magic used by our clan, and it can send simple messages. The meaning of those messages is buried in the blue light, and only I can decipher them. When I'm tracking a target, I like to put psychological pressure on them. In the process of trying to shake me off, they'll start to panic, bring in reinforcements, alter their plan. They keep going like this until eventually, they've exposed everything I need to know. Do you know much about weasel thieves? They're not especially intelligent creatures, but once you tame them, they can be trained to steal things and even pick locks. Pretty clear-cut case, isn't it? If even animals can be used as pawns with the right methods, the same has to be all the more true of people, who are constantly plotting and scheming against one another to begin with. I got to know Ningguang a long time ago, before she was a Qixing, and we worked together for a while. Maybe I'm partly to thank for the fact that she became a Qixing so quickly. Who can say? Anyway, she was the one who recommended this job to me. It was a good choice. I'm very well suited to it. Ningguang is good to work with, but I have to be mindful of our identities when I'm out in public. When I meet a Qixing as an employee of the Ministry of Civil Affairs, they're sir or lady to me. Ah, the secretary. I could never work non-stop like she does. Certainly not at that level of efficiency. I guess being half Adeptus must have its perks. Imagine not needing sleep to regain your energy levels. I don't really like people who cram their schedules full because it doesn't leave any room for negotiation. If something happens that they didn't anticipate, it throws their plans into oblivion, impacting not just themselves, but their coworkers too. But the Yuhong is different. She works in a very methodical way. I always enjoy working with her. I like Yanfei a lot, and I'm not talking about our friendship. As a high-profile legal consultant, important intel in Liyue Harbor is constantly flowing in her direction. Whenever I help her out, I always get some invaluable leads in return. I gotta say, though, sometimes I think she respects me a little too much. The elders in my clan once said that we must always show the utmost respect to the vigilant Yaksha. Apparently, the only time that our ancestor would gain some temporary relief from his insanity was when passing by the Wangshu Inn. It must have been the comforting effect of his presence that wards off evil spirits. That said, if I ever have the honor of fighting side by side with the conqueror of demons, I will focus only on the mission. I cannot let myself be distracted by concerns about his status. Ah, Xiangling, the lovely little chef. Her ingredients are always top quality, easily as good as Lioli Pavilion and Xinyue Kiosk. Sometimes I go to her for dried Jueyun chilies. She doesn't seem to understand why I eat them in the way that I do, and I don't feel like trying to explain it to her either. It's just a family tradition. Of course I remember him, the young master of the Feiyun Commerce Guild. I have dealings with his family all the time. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll be outsmarting everyone around him too. The Fatui Harbinger? He helped me out once, unwittingly. I was planning a deep-reaching investigation into the former owner of the Yanshang Tea House, but our Harbinger friend got to him first. He showed up demanding payment of his debt, and also exposed his accounting fraud, which got him thrown in jail. That made it very easy for me to take over Yanshang Tea House myself, and it's proven to be a very useful base. The reason I'm willing to bet on you is because of your special status. I think it'll bring me a lot of leads that can get me closer to the truth. So, got any news for me today? Exchanging information has to be a two-way thing, so I guess I can tell you something about my past. Thanks to my family's connections, I learned some useful skills from the Millilith Scouts very early on. Although there are things working against you every step of the way when you're gathering intelligence, as long as I keep myself alive, I'll always emerge as the winner in the end. Clues are links in a chain. You have to trace them all the way back to where everything began before there can be a resolution. To that end, I need to keep my eyes and ears on every part of society, and often that means having to be more than one person. People sometimes describe me as one person, many faces, and so on. I take it as a compliment. Someone once warned me to be careful about digging up certain things from the past. Dig too deep, and you might find yourself standing in your own grave, they say. Well, I'm not about to stop, least of all because of anything anyone else has to say. Sure, I can't change the facts, but if it's a choice between the cold, hard truth and blissful unawareness, I'll take the former. What about you? Which would you choose? Tell me something. If I'm gonna stay around, what kind of person do you want me to be to you? Someone you work with? A competitor who challenges you to sharpen your game? Just another name on your long list of acquaintances, or somebody more important than that? Depending on what you're hoping for, I can either play that part or become that person. In my free time, I live life completely at random. It's quite simple. I make a list of things to do, then I roll the dice to decide which one I'm going to do next. It's a surprisingly fun game, and it's really broadened my mind. In that sense, it's been quite helpful where my job is concerned. My physical fitness isn't actually that great compared with some trained martial artists. It's a hereditary thing that runs in my family. So before getting into really important work, I adjust my schedule to make sure I get enough rest, wait till I've built up enough energy, then strive to finish everything that needs doing in one go. Outside of work, I try my best to live life at a calm and carefree pace, so I'll always decline to take on any strenuous physical labor. I like to grind dried Jueyun chilies and violet grass stamens into powder, mix them in with some Yunlai white tea leaves, and then brew a strong pot of tea. It has the most powerful fragrance that makes you instantly fall in love with it. I prefer drinks like this with a long-lasting aftertaste to things like coffee and spirits. You have to be very careful with sweets. That powerful sense of satisfaction, it weakens your willpower, makes you relaxed. It only takes a few bites to get addicted, and with long-term consumption, you'll slowly but surely lose your edge. Not bad. Almost good enough to bribe me with. Once you get accustomed to spicy food, everything else tastes bland. It's just the way it is. Shall we roll some dice? Whoever gets the lowest number gets to eat it. If I was to tell you that maybe you shouldn't celebrate too hard today because you'll let your guard down, and someone out there might just be waiting for that moment to make their move on you, it probably wouldn't go down very well. So relax and take it easy today. Oh, and you should stop by the Genshin tea house. I whipped up some treats especially for you. Not sweet ones, of course. Just the tiniest little hint of chili. In my line of work, combat skills are essential. Sometimes you have to strike hard and fast at just the right moment to expose the lies while avoiding any unwanted interference. Finding the truth might sound simple, but it takes perseverance to stick to the trail of clues, and it takes strength to follow them deep into dangerous territory. I have long regarded you as my most important informant. Naturally, I need to be fully prepared to face whatever risks come with the final answer when you bring it to me. Come on, let's go get it. Busted! Gotcha! Quietly now. Game's up, fun's over. Here comes the catch. Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy. Easy money. Treasure. One way to draw your target out of hiding. A chest full of valuables, and a trove of potential clues. What a drag. Winging it wasn't the best idea. I didn't factor this in. Get back! I'll finish this job. You're running cold. Allow me. What are the odds? How was I so wrong? But the truth is still unknown. Gutsy. No! Who's our target this time? It's time to pull the trigger. Let's go get ourselves some answers.
Welcome to Naganohara. My name's Yoimiya. Just let me know if you need anything. We have kushikatsu, egg roll... Wait, no, we're not a restaurant. Oh, we make fireworks. Like these, see? Sparkling, crackling little fireworks. Fireworks are for now, but friends are forever. If we've got nothing else to do, why don't I tell you a story? Have you ever kept goldfish as pets? They're very cute. Ah, the fireworks are gonna get soaked. Let's find shelter quick. Oh, we're not going to make it. Watch me make a snowball. Pew! Ah, this is great. I feel so relaxed all over. I could almost float away. The wind's so strong! It's blowing my voice back at me! Good morning. The morning air is the freshest. Come on, take a few extra breaths. It'll make you smarter. Time for lunch. Oh my, it's an egg with a double yolk. What wonderful luck! Now's the best time to test our fireworks out. Though I'm sure they'll look good whether they explode in the sky or on the ground. Just kidding, I'll pay attention to safety. Question time! So, what should you do after watching fireworks all day? The answer is... to watch them again in your dreams, of course. Good night. See you tomorrow. My father's hearing isn't very good. When I was young, he would always smile no matter what I said to him. And so I thought everything I said was correct. So I kept talking, and he would keep smiling. Later, I found out that he was smiling because he couldn't hear clearly. But as long as he's truly happy, I'll keep talking to him. I don't worry about loose lips, sinking ships. The emotions contained in the words people say don't lie. Misunderstandings that arise from saying things wrongly can be resolved if you just talk more. But if you say nothing, the other person won't understand what you mean, and they can't get closer to you. Ooh, let's have a game of rock, paper, scissors. On my count now. Rock, paper, scissors. Woohoo! I won! I won! I didn't change my choice halfway. Why would I ever do that? It actually doesn't matter what I do. What matters are the people I work with. When I'm with you, even simple things like watching the scenery or kicking a small jar about make me happy. Talking to you never gets old after all. Let me let you in on a little secret. When I first received my vision, I used it as a flint to light fireworks and boil water, before returning home, chucking it into a storeroom, and forgetting all about it. In the end, it was my father who found it and told me that it was a precious item that I should keep safe. At least it didn't get taken back by our dear Archon. Did you know a lot of the fireworks used during Liyue's lantern rite were purchased from our shop? I made them to order before asking Beto to ship them to Liyue. Exports like these aren't allowed under the Sakoku decree, but how can there be festivals without fireworks? When the last sparks of the fireworks have disappeared into the sky, they turn into rain and snow and will fall upon the earth again, nourishing the land and nurturing humanity, so that someday they can be sent up into the sky again and display their magnificence. Of the many stories my father told me, this one is my favorite. Did you ever try to step on a spot of light before as a child? You know, those patches on the ground created when the sunlight passes through the leaves? I once thought that it would disappear if I stepped on it, but it would always jump onto my foot instead. I tried and tried and tried, but I never succeeded. Quite the sore loser I was then, sitting on a rock, sighing to myself and thinking, so there are things in this world that can't be stepped on. While squatting next to some children and watching them catch goldfish during one summer festival, I suddenly had a thought. Could I make fireworks that could go off on the surface of the water? Thus, the goldfish fireworks were born. They can swim here and there, emit multicolored lights, and they can even spit bubbles. I never thought it would actually work, But I guess wonders never cease. Beto's been helping me ship my fireworks out ever since Inazuma was locked down. I prepared a huge boat-shaped firework just to surprise her. And when the Crux fleet was about to leave, this firework went whoosh right in front of their eyes, straight into the sky. The sailors got such a huge fright. They thought one of their ships had somehow flown off. But Beto liked that trick very much, saying that it was exactly what a pleasant surprise should be. Very pleasant and a surprise. Fireworks are probably the furthest thing from the eternity that the Shogun pursues. She probably feels that their transient glory has no practical purpose in Inazuma. It's probably something that one who has eternity in their grasp will find hard to comprehend. It is precisely because we mortals are like fleeting shadows that we need to treasure such flickers of beauty. We cooperate a lot due to work. Unlike people in the other two commissions, she always lets me finish speaking and answers me seriously without showing any impatience. I'd say the word ladylike was practically made just for her. We once discussed matters concerning the summer festival deep into the night. We were both really tired, and I invited her to go take a bath. But when she heard that it involved many people bathing in the same pool, she went red in an instant. That was when I first learned that noble ladies can't use public baths. He's quite the talker, and has reasons behind every word that he says. Sometimes it might seem like there's no connection, but as he goes on, everything will eventually dovetail nicely towards a single purpose. It's, quite different from how I do things. I ask him for help whenever I encounter a matter I can't settle. Ayaka once asked me during a ritual at the shrine if I could prepare some fireworks for the Lady Guji's leisure. I thought to myself, isn't the Lady Guji supposed to sit inside the shrine throughout the ritual? So I watched her the whole time during the ritual, wondering how she'd like to release fireworks. I waited, and then Ayaka came over at length to tell me that the Lady Guji was most pleased. I mean, what? She'd already released the fireworks? Was the person sitting inside the shrine not her then? Oh, he may look scary, but he is very popular with the children. However, he can be very competitive. Every time we play with the children, it always turns into a showdown between him and me. For example, we drink a bowl of ramen soup in one go, or try to eat sour plums without making any faces. The children will cheer us both on and try to guess the winner. And when that happens, well, then I can't let him beat me, right? Arataki's gang? Huh? So he isn't just someone with too much free time in his hands? People with no worries like myself speak plainly, while those with many cares often speak of ancient poetry or the scenery. They talk of flowers and birds, wind and moon, but never about the reality that confronts them. He's got quite the tale to tell, I'm sure. Due to public safety and fire hazard-related concerns, I often get whisked off to the Tenryo Commission's place for a lecture. Kujusara's probably the most reasonable of the bunch. At least she'll hear me out before passing any judgment. If I'm in the right, she'll acknowledge my perspective. And if I'm wrong, then I'll get Toma to come and help me apologize to her. Let me know if you see her all right. I'd really love to take her to one of the festivals and introduce her to lots of new friends. She always looks a little down, but if she meets some people she can hang out with, maybe she'll slowly pick herself up again. Wait, you said there was a kid in Mondstadt who was good at making bombs? Now, they aren't much different from fireworks. In other words, she might be a genius. Oh, I'd love to meet her. But isn't it dangerous to let children play with explosives? Don't the people of Mondstadt worry about that? The courier from Komani Express? She's super reliable and really quick on her feet. Ingredients used in coloring the fireworks always run out quickly, but she always delivers a new batch right when I need them. I gave her a firework once as a thank you gift, but she was too scared to light it, saying that she got spooked once by the sound of fireworks. So I told her to find a nice viewing spot far away and set it off for her. You want to hear a story? All right. Sit here and I shall tell you the story I'm most proud of. The story of the Naganohara family. You'll rarely ever hear me talk about something this serious, you know? Our family has a long tradition in which we will give every client who orders customized fireworks a note. Its contents can only be understood by our family, and it records the specific formula of the fireworks that were ordered. Whether 10 years or 100 years pass, our family can make exactly the same fireworks as they did in the past, so long as the client brings us that note. The loveliest fireworks go along with the most wondrous moments. Tiny little emotions that can easily slip away are captured within these fireworks and passed down in a different form. The notes we give our clients are like a key that awaits those who wish to open a gate to commemorate the past. We at Naganohara are the keepers of that gate. Every moment of the summer festival is a moving tale. Those who meet under the light of the fireworks grow up, mature, and grow old. When they set off the same fireworks as they did in the beginning, the skies reflect the same image from years ago. Fireworks are not eternal, but I believe that the wonderful emotions behind them should walk alongside Inazuma into eternity. I shan't tell the final tale, I think. Instead, let's watch the fireworks together in silence. You can record the beautiful scenery and all the things you want to say down. Not that this is the end, of course. On the contrary, I believe that our story is only just beginning. Fireworks! Wait, that doesn't count. Well, then, let me think. This one's a toughie. I like to chat with the neighbors. I like going to summer festivals with the children, swimming, picking wild fruits. Oh, I can't decide which I like most. Wait, I've got it! I love playing with everyone. I'm copying the sound that Paimon makes while disappearing. The novel that I've been reading for a while finally reached its end, but the heroine lost her memory and the planned wedding fell through. Oh, that's so sad. I prefer snacks to entrees. I always go from stall to stall during festivals, eating as I go. By the way, are you any good at making snacks? I'll trade the dongo I made with you. Here, have the big ones. Milk never fails to start some real fireworks in my stomach. Crackle, kaboom. You know what I mean? But I can handle dishes and snacks made with milk for some reason. Maybe the little Celia in my stomach is just pickier than most. Wow. You've got a real knack for making tasty treats. You should totally set up a stall at a festival sometime. Oh, it'd be a hit for sure. Good food really perks you up and, puts you in the mood to share some stories. Ooh, actually, I got a good one. You've got to hear this one. It feels like there's a specter swirling around in my stomach. That can't be ideal. Birthdays are never occasions for yourself alone. Those who send you cakes, light candles, applaud, and cheer, they're all truly thankful that you were born into this world. That's why it must be a lively occasion, so that everyone can get their chance to thank you. Well then, happy birthday! Are you ready? I'm about to ignite the fireworks. The higher they fly, the louder the explosion. Let me give this shooting fireworks straight into the skies with a boat business a shot. With all these combat skills I've learned from you, I should just become an adventurer on the side, apart from my day job making fireworks. Or should I just become a hero instead? Never fear, Yoimiya is here! Evil be gone, justice prevails. Think this is a good way to introduce the powers you've taught me to the children? Isn't it cool? Hey, tell me if anyone picks on you too. I'll stick up for you. Time for a light show. The fuse is lit. Fire hazard. A festive reprise. Goldfish of doom. Here come the fireworks. Up, up, and away. Ooh, will we find any firework materials in here? What do we have here? Ooh, let me open it. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, that hurt. I gotta watch it. I've come to help. Never fear, Yoimiya's here. Burned too brightly. All fizzled out. The festival ends. Lighter, please. That didn't count. Are you going to hold a festival? Let's go out and play. More companions! Hooray!
As the saying goes, you never truly know someone until you meet them in person. And at long last, I finally have the great honor of meeting you today. My name is Yoonjin,
and I am humbled to be the director of the Yunhan Opera Troupe. We have been performing at Hayu Tea House as of late, and we'd be honored to have you attend a performance sometime. Oof, my waistband has been feeling a little snug these last couple of days. Methinks I perchance have overindulged. Ah, yes, I shall spare myself the hair and makeup routine today, and happily idle my time away.
云婵娟来，花婵娟，风流尽在山水间。
Did you hear that? Oh, it really startled me.
哎呀，冻伤我了！
What a sight to behold, the sun, so warm and radiant. Good morning. The dew at dawn is perfect for brewing tea, so I made some for you. Drink up, and then we'll head off. I'd like to indulge in a nap after lunch. Oh? You're not tired? Let's go listen to tonight's storytelling performance together. Liu Su's rendition of Ring of Raining Blades is most sublime. There's a chill in the air tonight, so you mustn't stay out late. Good night. My schooling started very early. In fact, my earliest memories are of my father teaching me to read. Despite my best efforts, my ability is not half of his. Enough to write operas, but compared to his level of erudition, I still have much to strive for. In her youth, my mother was a famous opera singer in Liyue Harbor, and I learned all the operas I know from her. But you could never imagine how strict she was with me as a teacher. Thinking back on it now, No. I'd rather not think about it at all. We have some grand performances coming up soon, and it just so happens that we have an opening for someone to play the part of a skilled sword fighter. I think you'd be a perfect match for the part. How about it? Would you like to join our troupe? We can even enjoy some tea together in between acts. Huh? You like rock and roll? Oh, that's great. I'll be sure to bring you along the next time I go out to see a show. And when I get back, I can just tell the senior troupe members that I went out to visit you. That way, they won't have any reason to get on my case about going out. My vision? I suppose the Lord of Geo must be a fan of the opera. Perhaps the old man was so delighted with my performance that he decided to grant me a vision. One of my absolute favorite pastimes is trying out all kinds of new beverages. I've already tried all the sophisticated-sounding drinks that previous generations came up with. You know, like pine nectar tea and snow blossom tea. I'm beginning to worry that I'll run out of new drinks to try soon. You don't happen to have any recommendations, do you? Sometimes I just feel like casting off my opera costume and going traveling overseas. You know, to explore the outside world. For now, I'll need to keep working hard at what I'm doing, so someday that dream can come true. The chirping of the songbirds at daybreak always puts me in the best of moods. The elders of the troupe are always harping on about rock and roll being a bad influence. Needless to say, they never approve of me going to see Xinyan's shows. It's for your own good, they say. All it's really about is their inability to accept anything new. Whatever, those old fogies can't tell me what to do. I'm going to keep rocking out at Xinyan's gigs every week, and that's that. Ah, yes, Hu Tao. Very expressive face, and she has a sharp mind, too. You can be discussing the most mundane thing in the world, and she'll always bring out a string of witty remarks. I admire her a lot. There's never a dull moment when you have friends like her around. The customs of the opera are very particular, and are passed down from generation to generation. Sometimes, I find that I only know the hows, but not the whys behind what we do. But when speaking with Zhongli, it is abundantly evident that he knows the origins behind almost everything. Who wouldn't be delighted to have such a connoisseur in their audience? The Tianchuan is a big spender and has made several very generous donations to our troupe. I can only return her generosity by delivering my best possible performance. Oh, so you are also acquainted with Xingqiu? He is quite the clever one, and with a sharp wit as well. The moment you let your guard down, you're at risk of becoming the butt of one of his practical jokes. And don't say I didn't warn you. I have long since known the divine damsel of devastation, inside out, back to front, but it was only very recently that I learned that the divine damsel in question is actually a real person. Life is full of strange twists sometimes. My only hope is that she can find true friendship and never be lonely again. I have yet to see the Yuheng ever attend an opera performance. Now that I think about it, whenever I happen to see her out on the street, she always seems to be in a great hurry. Kaidahara Kazuha is among the many outlanders who enjoy Liyue opera. Whether it's an orchestral section or a percussive piece, he always sits there and listens quietly. Talk about great manners. Many of the operas we've been performing recently are new ones that I wrote after assuming the directorship of the troupe. I suppose the fact that I can both write and sing my own material has contributed to my rising popularity in Liyue Harbor. Per the tradition, actors must wrap their hair, put on full-face makeup and an elaborate costume, and make all sorts of other preparations before they take the stage. There's no doubt that an opera star in full attire looks spectacular, but achieving this look is frightfully exhausting. So I perform without hair and makeup whenever I have the option, and if I must perform in full dress, I try to select a costume that isn't too heavy. Fortunately, the good folks at Hallyu Tea House are quite lenient with us. Otherwise, we'd be working ourselves to early graves. At the start of my opera career, I have to say I did let the standing ovations from our audiences go to my head a little. It wasn't long before I developed a captious attitude. If I didn't like the script, or if the stage was too small, or if I thought there weren't enough people in the audience, I would refuse to perform. Looking back now, it was all terribly arrogant of me. My goodness. I shall never let myself become so vain again. Now that I think about it, the Yunhan Opera Troupe has been under my leadership for quite some time now. Before taking it over, I only knew two things: how to write opera and how to perform it on stage. I never gave any thought to how to run a troupe. Becoming the troupe's director gave me a crash course in this unfamiliar area, and I've experienced all the highs and lows of working with people along the way. Only now do I understand that life mirrors opera, just as opera reflects life. Well, you know, many of Liyue's legends are centered around stories of gods and the Adepti, so most operas focus on the supernatural too. A prime example would be the Divine Damsel of Devastation, which we have been performing recently. Longtime opera fans adore this sort of material. But in this age of humanity, I would rather like to tell stories about ordinary people. Yes, how grand it would be to sing about the hopes and dreams of ordinary people for all to hear. Oh, I've never shared these thoughts with anyone before. Thank you for listening so patiently. I'm fortunate to have a close friend like you. My hobbies? Well, opera, of course. It's what I truly love, and it's what I will be pursuing for the rest of my life. Well, as you can probably imagine, I always have to be mindful of what I eat and make sure I stay in shape. It's a shame, because the temptation to indulge in all the tasty delicacies the city has to offer is just as strong to me as to anyone else. Tianshu meat, blackback perch stew, cured pork dry hot pot. Oh, I just want them all. Unfortunately, I basically never get to eat such things. But, if you don't mind me asking, can you cook any of those dishes? Every day's the same. Stir-fried shrimp day in and day out. No matter how they prepare it, it always tastes the same. Ugh, ghastly. I really can't stand it anymore. There's no better feeling than indulging in your favorite food. It's a shame that I can only afford to have a little bite. Oh, what a magnificent feast. Wait a second. I'll grab us some drinks to accompany the meal. I'm sorry. This meal isn't really agreeing with me. Oh, so today's your birthday? Well, I wouldn't know how to throw you a feast if I tried, so how about I sing you a song? For you alone, an audience of one. So, what song would you like to hear me sing? The choice is yours. As the saying goes, achievement in a field is the result of how hard you are willing to work at it, not how much you enjoy it. It looks like all my rigorous training is finally paying off. I began my training in the art of the spear, hoping to enhance my performance in stage combat. I stuck with it, hoping to master the techniques of self-defense. Today, it looks like I have finally achieved both of these goals. The art of the spear is a vast and profound discipline. There's an almost infinite number of things one can learn. I am glad to have had you by my side during my training. I believe I've grasped the basics now. I dare say you'd better be careful when we're sparring together in the future. And step. And leap. Flags up. Flags fly. Observe. Break a leg. Strike is one. Your grand finale. The troop appreciates any donation. Anything the troop could use on our journey? No need to stand on ceremony. I'll just take this. Watch the costume. The curtain's not down yet. This script needs a rewrite. Exit stage right. I'll save the show. Thank you. And good night. A true tragedy. The show must go on. Stay in character. How embarrassing. This isn't stage fighting.
So, Liao!
Which opera shall we perform today? Let's get this show on the road.
A new contract. Okay. I'm still on leave, but I can accompany you for a while. What name should I use on the contract? I have a great many names, though when on leave I tend to go by Zhongli. And you, traveler, what name will you be signing on this contract? Every journey has its final day. Don't rush. Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while, so it is where many things come to settle. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory? Violet grass is a plant that enjoys a moist environment and is best picked after it rains. If you should choose to pick any, be sure to store them appropriately. We should look for a place to take shelter. I'll be fine, but we don't want you catching a cold. This weather is no good for being on vacation. We should go and take in an opera. I hope today, too, shall be prosperous. Want a quick meal to pick us back up? I know a good place in Chehu Rock. By this time of night, we will have already missed Miss Yoon's play. But Liyue is full of interesting places to explore, even at night. The market is closed and the port has settled. Go get some rest. Nothing can be accomplished without rules or standards. No matter if it is mortals or adepti, everyone has their place. This rule is what keeps Liyue in peace. Gold is Liyue's treasure. It is the blood that runs through her heart. As for whether your own heart shines like gold, we will have to wait and see. You and I have a contract. So feel free to discuss anything at all within the scope of said contract. We can discuss matters that fall outside of our contract, too. After all, I have been on this land for a time, and have come to know a thing or two. Of course, I do hope you can do some things for me as well. That would only be fair. Contracts cannot be used to define friendship, nor measure sentiment. So just what can we use to measure the weight of our emotions? Do you know the answer, friend? Visions are also a type of contract. You should know that all power comes at a price. For every bit of power you gain, so too do you gain more responsibility. Trade relies on both contracts and fairness. There is one thing you must never forget when making and abiding by a contract. If fairness is lost, then the contract shall become proof of one's deception. If you're heading to Jueyun Karst, please bring me back a bunch of Chingsin. Just one bunch is enough. Travel expenses? I almost forgot. During the effective period of our contract, travel expenses are to be paid for by yourself. Sorry to bother you. You speak of the young adeptus of Guili Plains. Still fulfilling his duty to this very day. Please, give this remedium tertiorum to him on my behalf. Oh, yes. Be sure not to let Paimon eat them. Nothing of this world can withstand the power of this medicine. It reeks of wine. That bard has just been through here, hasn't he? That drunkard is a disgrace to the arts. Oh, has he tricked you into getting drunk? You're slurring a little. Wait a moment. I'll brew a pot of sobering tea. It'll be ready in only 6 hours, so just wait a moment. Despite the multitude of affairs that she deals with in a day, Ningguang always continues to press on. A rare gem indeed. I'm reminded of the time that she used to walk barefoot from Yaoguang Shoal to the South Wharf, trying to sell her wares as she went. Time is cruel to humans. The current overseer of the funeral parlor? I cannot deal with that child. That rascal from Snezhnaya has yet to depart from Liyue? No matter. Just let me know if he gives you any trouble. I shall deal with the matter swiftly. It's said that Child and his reputation have yet again stirred up waves among the inner ranks of the Fatui. Knowing his type, he will be sure to swiftly depose anyone who dares to challenge his actions. Come to think of it, there will be a lot of interesting news to be heard the next time we gather for drinks. Care to join me when the time comes, traveler? Liyue's prosperity has not merely been built on Rex Lapis's oracles or wisdom. It is also thanks to the countless servants of the Geo-Archon who have honored their end of the contract. Of them, Ganyu is the one who has served for the longest time. If you want to know about her past, you should ask her about it. I fear my wording would not be delicate enough to receive her approval. She is the most impious of the Qixing, but I actually find the conviction of such people quite endearing. The only reason I was able to consider taking a step back from such overarching management of Liyue was because there are people like her. People who speak up when they believe themselves to be right, and then go and do something decisive about it. Despite never having signed a contract with me, she upholds order within many strata of Liyue society in her own way, dispelling misconceptions and correcting biases. Should her father one day return from his travels, I imagine that he would be even more delighted than I. Time tempers all volition, yet she would give up everyone for her beliefs. Perhaps it is for this very reason that she has come to where she stands today. Should the chance come by me, I too would like to learn of the eternity for which she so earnestly endeavors. As well as ruling over all of Sumeru, the god of wisdom Buer has a duty to guard Irminsul. Only one who possesses great wisdom could hope to shoulder these responsibilities. All life in Tevat owes her gratitude for saving Irminsul. Why is it that once you finally get a break, rather than taking a rest, you instead come to me? Is it that you want to hear one of my stories? Have you heard of the origin of the Black Cliff Forge? In the past, they would mine the ore veins of Mount Tianhong and then replace the cavities with factory equipment. Tunnels run in all directions throughout the mountain. Some even run to the ruins, deep within the earth. I doubt there is a person today who could map out all the tunnels. Have you heard of the origins of the Lantern Rite? In a war long ago, the people of Liyue would release lanterns to remind their soldiers of the way home and to never lose sight of themselves. Though in this day and age, I doubt there are any that remember. The God of Contracts. Have you heard of him? He has an impressive memory. He remembers the name of every person he comes across, and the date that every ship built in Liyue set sail. After all, only in being able to do so can he memorize all of the contracts he holds. With that said, not every memory is a happy one. For those that live too long, the friends of days gone by and scenes from their adventures live on in their memories. As such, I have no regrets in meeting you, friend. Should the day ever come that we are not together, you will continue to shine like gold in my memories. I enjoy partaking in walks through the city. When time permits, I find it very calming. Yes, just when did this feeling begin? To get people to abide by a contract and act in accordance with the guidelines set out within is simply to ask them to respect the concept of fairness. It is not a large request. How are there those who still do not understand such simplicity? There was once a drink I used to enjoy with friends, long ago. Is it because the climate has changed? A shame I will never be able to relish in its smooth flavor again. I don't like seafood. Just seeing it reminds me of that slimy texture and that scent that just won't wash off. As for why I hate it, it's a long story. So let's just say my memory is a little too good. The finest ingredients cooked with true expertise. This is no small feat. The art of gastronomy is a fascinating one. That it appeals to you comes as no surprise. Since you seem to have some time on your hands, why don't we find a quiet place and I'll share one of my stories with you. Happy birthday. This is a dried glaze lily that came into bloom on the day of your birth. Long ago, the people of Liyue would say that this flower blooms bearing the weight of the beautiful memories and prayers of the land. I believe this to have applied on the day you were born as well. It seems my strength is returning. Not a lot, but enough. My power is growing, and so with it grows the burden on my body. I'm okay. My structure is not the same as that of normal people. Please, do not worry yourself. I see. Using a vision harnesses elements. As far as the common folk are concerned, this is no small feat. So, back then, they were aware of this as they stood beside me. After letting go of my gnosis, I never expected to see a day like this again. Thank you, friend. Ah, yes, I have a new contract here. Care to take a look at it together?
Rise! Quake! Crumble! Gather! Stabilize! Solidify! Order guide you. This is order. I will have order.
One man's stone is another man's gem. Unsolicited, and all the more valuable for it. Certainly worth the extra mile.
I see your power. This is getting interesting. Emergency countermeasures aren't my thing. Don't try to rush your enemy. Take a rest. Leave it to me. I'm feeling a little off. You shouldn't see me like this. Even bedrock can be turned to dust. Careless. Nothing to fear.
Sure. A walk would be nice. What shall we do?